Welcome to Easy 3 Sport Production. I'm your host, Suttles, and today we'll be reviewing the game between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers. Let's get it. First of all, New York Knicks basketball is back. It is back. I am happy it is back. 9.5 months. 9.5 months we had to wait for New York Knicks basketball. And last night, the first half, I was so excited. I was so hyped. A new coach. We got Obi. We got a good young core. I'm looking at it. I'm like, yes, we looking good. And then the second half happened. And it happened. But to review the game, basically, I like what I seen overall because Tom Thibodeau got them playing good defense. He really does. That was one of the best points of the game. The help defense was there each and every time, especially more in the first half than the second half. But we'll get more into exactly what happened and why it was the second half collapse. But in that first half, everything was rolling. Everybody was hitting shots. We actually ended up shooting 45% from the three-point line. And that was actually eye-opening because the Knicks are not known to be good shooters whatsoever. RJ Barrett came out like a man possessed. He was mad that he wasn't on the first or second rookie all-team last year, and he put up some big numbers last night. He had 26, 8, and 5, and he was looking good doing it. He didn't miss a shot until the third quarter. So he was doing work last night. Julius Randle in the first half, I like what I seen from him. I did. I thought that he actually changed from last year, but I liked what I seen in him. He was very patient. He let the game come to him. He ended up with 17, 9, and 9. He almost had a triple-double because he was very patient in the first half. He was facilitating. He ended up with 8 assists in the first half. I'm like, this is the Julius Randle that I want to see. This is the guy that I want to see each and every day. But then the second half came, and then he reverted right back to the old Julius Randle, where he just forced shots, he held onto the ball, dribble. It wasn't looking good at all. So for Obi Toppin, our first round pick, he looked decent. He was off all night. He fell in love with the three-pointer way too much. He wasn't really driving to the cup and using his athleticism, but it was his first game. It was his first debut. I understand. He looks like a guy that's going to get better as the season progresses because he just has that smooth type game. He has that maturity to him, but last night was not his night. He only ended up with 9 points. I mean, the three-pointers that he took was very impressive, but outside of that, it really wasn't too much to talk about. Now, the other rookie, quickly, he made a big impact on the game, and you seen it. In the first half, he came in and he took over for Elfrid Payton because Elfrid Payton does not look good at the point guard role. I'm just going to say that right now. He does not look good whatsoever. But quickly came in. He settled the team down. He got people into sets. He started making plays. He was a playmaker, and he ended up with 5 points, 1 assist, 1 steal, but it was his impact on the floor. And he played 12 minutes in the first half. He made a big impact on the floor, which propelled us to our first half lead of 66-61, 5 points. But he got injured towards the end of the second quarter. It was a hit pointer, and he didn't return. And you seen exactly what his impact did. Like Clyde was saying that it was more so because of Julius Randle and he was in foul trouble, but it was Quickly. Quickly was the one who was keeping everything attached, and that's very, very high praise for a rookie to be the actual glue to a team so early, especially this was just his first game, but you've seen the impact that he made. And The second half, it was just a collapse. Everything went down. Everything went haywire. The Pacers tightened up their defense. Victor Oladipo began to get off. Sabonis was getting off all game, basically, and he kept having our bigs in foul trouble. He had Randle. He had Mitch. He had Nerlens Noel. They was all in foul trouble because of Sabonis. He actually ended up with 32 points and 13 rebounds. But overall, that second half was just bad. Once our shot began not to fall, everything else just dropped down. Like, the help defense wasn't even there anymore. They was getting caught on backdoors, just simple things, just simple passes. And then that's when Julius Randle began to start forcing things. And when they're a young team like that and things don't go their way, you're going to see that it's going to hinder on them. And guys are going to start to try to force things instead of letting it come natural to them. And that's what we've seen. And that's exactly what we see. Now, the Pacers are a better team than us. They're more seasoned. Even though they got a new coach, they've been to the playoffs. But they're just way more seasoned than us. I mean, the Knicks are the third youngest team in the league, so we're going to have a lot of growing pains. The other thing I want to talk about is we have to really identify what kind of culture Tom Thibodeau is setting, because this was very interesting. Frank and Dennis, they were not injured all game. They weren't injured. Elfrid Payton wasn't playing good. Manuel Quickley came in. He gave us a spark. But once Quickley got injured and Payton came back in for the second half and Payton was still doing terrible, he went to the bench. So now you don't have your starting point guard and you don't have the rookie who gave you the spark. So in everybody else's mind, we're like, Frank is going to come in or Dennis is going to come in. And Tom Thibodeau said, no, we're going with Alec Burke. Alec Burke is going to be our point guard. That shows exactly what kind of culture that he's setting. There's something that Dennis and Frank was not showing Tom in practice, training camp, in the preseasons to get on the floor in the first game when we need a point guard. Because that was the story of the game. We didn't have a point guard. The point guard was the one who was supposed to set everybody up, calm everybody down, keep the tempo of the game. Payton didn't do that. Quickly did it for a temporary time, but you had Alec Burke out there doing it. He's not a point guard whatsoever. Now, Alec Burke did come off the bench and had 22 points, but he is not a point guard. Now, I just want to really hone in on that, because throughout the season, that's going to be a big tell. That the kind of culture that Tom Thibodeau is setting is, you better come to play, you better show up to work, because if not, you're not getting in the game. And I don't care who you are, and I don't care what situation that we're in, you're not getting in the game. That's how he is establishing this culture, and I like it. Now, we are a gritty, tough defensive team, but I did see that we have offensive challenges. The first half, everybody was on fire. Everybody. I mean, RJ didn't miss a shot the whole first half. But then once things begin to normalize and things weren't going our way, that's when everything went bad. Everything went haywire. But it's the first game for a very young team. I do like the promise that we're seeing here, but we got to see what it is throughout the season. But again, Pacers won 121-107 against the Knicks. Knicks start off 0-1. Next game will be against Philly. We're going to see what they do there. And this has been a Subtles recap from Easy 3 Sport Production. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Until next time, I'm out.